I kick you in the bollocks, you kick me in the bollocks. The one that gives up first owns the egg.
Hello, my name is Ruth. I'm a Canadian living in London, England, and I react to British things. So today I'm going to be reacting to a new comedian. I'm going to be reacting to Bernard Manning. And yeah, he looks very interesting, just Googling his stuff. It seems a little bit, well, offensive. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, let's just get started.
Where you from, this old fella here? Are you gonna... Uncle fucking Remus here. Uncle Fester. Them see-through wigs are very nice. Are they expensive? Lucky, no. If I had a head like that, I'd have it circumcised. What's your job? What do you do?
I'm a painter.
A painter? What do you paint?
Anything.
Anything? You want to paint some fucking hairs on your head? Want to see Pavarotti last week? What a miserable cunt. He don't like you joining in, does he? There's two Jews walking through Glasgow and a big gang of these skinheads come walking towards him. He said, look at these bastards here, Morris, we're going to get mugged here. He said, I think we are. I said, I'm fucking sure we are. Anyway, here's that 600 quid I owe you. Fella up in court, the judge says you're charged with battering your wife to death with a hammer. And a voice at the back of the court shouted, you fucking shithouse. And they all went quiet, you know. He says, you're also charged with battering your daughter to death with a hammer. And a voice at the back of the court shouted, you lousy bastard. The judge said, well, this can't go on. He says, come here. He says, I can understand you've been a bit upset about this case, but any more outbursts like this, I shall charge you with contempt. Now, what's the idea? He said, well, I lived next door to this bastard for over 20 years, he said. Every time I asked to borrow a hammer, he said he hadn't fucking got one. Them French, I don't fucking trust them, I'll tell you. I went in the cafe over there, I said, have you got frog's legs? He said, yes. I said, up in the kitchen and get us a fucking ham sandwich. Two girls on the cash out at the supermarket. One says, you can always tell the married fellas from the single fellas. She said, how do you do that? He said, what's this? A fella come up, he said, one mushroom, one egg, one tomato, one slice of bacon and one tin of beans. She said, you're a single fella, you aren't you? He said, how do you know that? She said, you're a right ugly cunt. Well, I joined the Foreign Legions, you know, how do you get a fuck out here, all this fucking sand like this? He said, the camel, he said, shed number 6, I'll boot you for 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. He opened the shed door, this fella got stuck right up his camel, give it a right fucking. The sergeant said, you dirty bastard, why don't you ride into town like the rest of the fucking lads? The inspector going round one of these asylums, the fella stood up in bed like that. He said, who are you supposed to be? He said, supposed to be, you cunt, he said. I'm Napoleon. He said, who told you that? He says, God. And the fellow in the next bed said, I never told you no such fucking thing. Fella walked in a pub with a crocodile. The landlord said, get it out. He said, it does tricks. He says, tricks, you balmy bastard. Get that crocodile out of here. And now, move with the crocodile. He says, you're going to have a thrombosis, you, the way you're going on. He said, fucking hell, calm down. Not seen the trick yet, have you? Watch this. Opens the crocodile's mouth like that. Put his prick in its mouth like that. Got a bit of wood out of his back pocket and bang, right across the head. The crocodile went... Fucking hell, he said. You've got some bottle to drop like that. He said, I told you it was good, he said. All that fucking screaming and shouting. Anybody in this pub like to try it for 50 quid? This little old woman says, I'll try it, she said, but don't hit me on the fucking head as I did that. Two Irish brothers went down for disability pension, cracking on they was deaf. The first one went in and he says, shut the door behind you. He says, right. He says, fuck off. He says, you're not fucking deaf, I've just asked you to shut the door. He shouted right and shut the door. Out! Get out! On his way out he said to his mate, don't shut that fucking door. He's trying to trick you. His mate went in, he said, shut the door behind you. He says, shut it your fucking self. English fella lived next door. This Packy had a goose. He laid egg in his garden. He went round. He said, I've come for me goose egg. He said, me goose has laid egg. He said, oh, no. No, the egg belongs to me. He said, the egg is on my land. The egg belongs to me. That is Indian law. He says, give us that fucking egg. He said, I'm telling you, the egg is on my land, the egg belongs to me. That is Indian law. He said, we'll never mind Indian law, we'll have English law just for a fucking change. I kick you in the bollocks, you kick me in the bollocks, the one that gives up first owns the egg. As long as that's the law, he said. Oh, and he gave me a right kick in the bollocks. He said, oh, fucking hell, he said. Oh, that fucking smart start, he said. But it's my turn now. He says, keep the fucking egg. Fella going back to Ireland, an Irishman going back to Ireland, that's a fucking change, isn't it? Got in this taxi at Liverpool, the taxi driver says, it's a long journey to the airport. He said, we'll have a few riddles. He looked in the mirror, he said, brothers and sisters have I none, but that man's father is my father's son. Who is it? Yeah, he sort of said, I don't know. He said, it's me, innit? Fuck me, he said, you're right. He got back to Ireland, he says to his father, I'll give you a bit of a riddle, he said. Looked in the mirror, he said, brothers and sisters have I none, but that man's father is my father's son. Who is it? His father said, how the fuck do I know? He said, you ignorant cunt. He's a taxi driver in Liverpool. Two Irish fellas used to knock about with this Packy, and the Packy got knocked down, killed stone dead. The copper said, what was his name? He said, we never knew his name, sir. Just used to booze them, you know. He said, where did he live? He said, no, we knew fuck all about the man, he said. The only thing we knew about him, he had two arseholes. He said, how do you mean? He said, every pub we went in, they used to say, here's that Packy with them two arseholes.
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I found him a little bit difficult to understand. You have to linger onto every word. His comedy's more story-based, so you have to linger onto every word and understand every single word, and I just found it sometimes a little bit difficult to understand him. I don't know if it was his accent or because he talked very fast, and so I didn't get some of the jokes, but the jokes that I did get were very funny, and I can see how it would be a little bit not okay for today's standards. I can see how that would, not pass in today's standards. When was this? This seems to have been like in the 80s, maybe? 80s, 90s, 80s? I'm just judging by image quality here. So a good 30, 40 years ago. And something else I noticed, he doesn't use a lot of props. He doesn't have a huge personality. He doesn't rely on any exterior things or exterior factors. He mostly relies on the words. He just kind of stands there and tells the joke, which I think is very interesting, and not a lot of comedians can do that or are successful at doing that. A lot of other stand-up comedians, need something else, whether that be a big personality or, props or music or something, He's just standing on stage saying the joke, which, props to him, because that's hard to do. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. Before I go, I just want to quickly shout out my patrons. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. My Patreon is my members-only site where you get benefits such as early access to my videos and my complete, unedited, uncensored reaction videos. And patron shoutouts if you're a top-tier patron. So thank you to Joseph, Brian, Reese, Kane, Robin, Hefner, Bob, Emil, Julian, Stevo, Patrick, Sean, Highcrest1980, RG, Rob, William, Ian, Kyle, Danny, Tanner, Rob DW, Gary, Bud, and Raul. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time. Bye!